Peter Parker hurried down the busy New York City street. He was late. School was about to start. Peter was a smart kid. He loved science, but being Spider-Man often made him late. In class, Mr. Warren talked about frequencies. Peter's mind wandered. He imagined sound waves interacting with his webs. Could he make his webs vibrate at different frequencies? That night, Peter snuck into his workshop. Excitement buzzed inside him. This could change everything. He could be even better at stopping bad guys. Peter's workshop was his secret lab. It was filled with wires, tools, and half-finished projects. He got to work. His mind raced with ideas. He combined his web fluid formula with sound amplifiers. He carefully calibrated tiny microchips to control the frequency output. He worked tirelessly, driven by his passion. He created new web shooters. These weren't ordinary web shooters. These were special. They could shoot webs that vibrated at different frequencies. The Shocker, a villain who used powerful sonic blasts. He was causing chaos in the city. Buildings shook. People ran for cover. Spider-Man had to stop him. Spider-Man arrived on the scene. "Hey, Shocker!" he called out. "It's time to turn down the volume." "You can't stop me, Spider-Man," the Shocker roared. "My sonic vibrations will crush you." Spider-Man knew this was serious. The Shocker was powerful, but Spider-Man had a secret weapon, his new web shooters. The next day at school, Peter struggled to stay awake. Fighting the Shocker had been exhausting. He had stayed up all night working on his web shooters. He had a mountain of homework. He had a history test he hadn't studied for, and he had to finish his science project. Being Spider-Man was amazing, but it was hard to balance his superhero life with his normal life. Sometimes he just felt overwhelmed. After school, Peter rushed back to his workshop. He had to improve his sonic webs. The Shocker was a serious threat, and he had to be ready. He experimented with different frequencies. Some frequencies could disrupt sound waves, while others could amplify them. He just needed the right combination. He tested the webs on his homemade punching bag. He modified the circuitry and tested again. This had to work. The school science fair was buzzing with excitement. Peter was showing off his latest project, a miniature wind turbine. Little did anyone know he was also there to stop a crime. Suddenly, the Shocker burst through the wall. "I need that energy source for my sonic amplifier," he shouted, heading straight for Peter's project. The Shocker was going to destroy everything. Peter knew he had to act fast. He excused himself, ducking behind his display. He had to become Spider-Man. "Not so fast, Shocker!" Spider-Man shouted as he swung in front of the villain. The Shocker laughed. "You again? This time you won't stop me!" He blasted his sonic waves at Spider-Man. Spider-Man quickly shot his specially designed webs. The webs vibrated at a specific frequency, creating a sound barrier. The sonic waves were contained. But it wasn't over yet. The Shocker was powerful. He broke free from the sound barrier and blasted Spider-Man with another sonic wave. Spider-Man was thrown back, crashing into a display table. Spider-Man knew he had to be smarter. He couldn't overpower the Shocker. He had to outthink him. He remembered what Mr. Warren had taught him in class. Sound waves could be redirected. He just needed to use the right frequency. He shot a web at the ceiling. It vibrated at a specific frequency, redirecting the Shocker's next sonic blast. The blast hit the villain himself, knocking him off his feet. The Shocker was down! Spider-Man quickly webbed him up before he could recover. The police arrived soon after to take the villain away. Exhausted but proud, Peter slipped away from the scene. He had a lot of explaining to do about the science fair. But for now, he had saved the day. Being Spider-Man was tough, but Peter wouldn't have it any other way. He would continue to use his intelligence and his heart to protect his city.